So it's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Well, hello everybody. What's going on with my screen? How's everyone doing? Didn't expect to see anybody here tonight. Didn't expect to be talking to anybody tonight. Didn't expect to be doing a podcast tonight. I literally sat down at my computer today at 7:40. I got a text message from an Arsenal supporting mate of mine saying, "Lad, I think you might be in for Callum Chambers." And I went, "I don't know, are we?" And then all of a sudden, boom, news drops about 5 minutes later. And I just sat down on my computer and I went, I'll take a shot at maybe doing up something on him, see what it is, and see if the other side know more about transfers than we do. And it turns out they were right. And he signed. No details of the transfer just yet. But Callum Chambers is now an Aston Villa player for 3.5 years. I'll be honest with you, I'm sitting here feverishly and hawkishly refresh to see if this is like some sort of our account was hacked kind of a thing, because no one knew it was coming. Absolutely nobody knew it was coming. So much so that I don't even have anybody here to talk to me about on about this with me. So I'm kind of chatting into the ether to you guys. I do have a slide prepared. That's why I was a couple of minutes late. But and we will look at that in a moment. We will look through it. But I'm looking down through Twitter here. Might as well share up Twitter while we're at it, and we can take a look at it together. But Twitter is very much so in agreement that Callum Chambers has signed. Matt Law says it's a free transfer, which I must say is quite. Free transfers are always nice business. Somebody who's versatile like Callum Chambers. I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be the next best thing since sliced bread. My Arsenal supporting mate has sent me quite a lengthy, and he did the guy that I've been speaking to for Arsenal. He did work with the with professional football academies in the Middle East. So I would take his word very, very seriously. And he sent me a bit of a rundown on him and a breakdown on him and what he has seen in him from an Arsenal point of view. And it's something that I would really, really take. I would, if he says it, then it would be a nice analysis of it, should I say. But it looks like that Callum Chambers is signed for free. And no transfer fee involved, says Sam Dean. And that this all happened extremely quickly. Chambers was expecting to leave on a free in the summer. So it looks like they've just expedited him and gotten him. Aston Villa have swooped in and gotten him. It's very much so. We can see there, my good old mate Fabrizio has mentioned it here. It's all over the place. It's Aston Villa have signed Callum Chambers. Ashley Priest has done a piece on him here. Let's take a look at it. I haven't read this at all. And sorry, as I say, if this is plagiarism from the Birmingham Mail, I do apologise. But everybody, please go and click on it and watch it yourselves. But Aston Villa have signed defender Callum Chambers as head coach. Steven Gerrard has made the breakthrough in a bid to add a centre back to the squad. Chambers has signed a 3.5-year deal at Villa Park and becomes their fourth signing in the January transfer window. The fees remain undisclosed, but Villa confirmed his arrival in a short statement on Thursday night, and it read, as we've all seen there, he has been capped by England, as it says here. He's 27 years of age, and he's made 5 appearances for the Gunners this season. So, word win stuff, guys. Word win stuff. And Callum Chambers is now an Aston Villa player. Let's take a look at some of the comments that you guys have popped in here. So Ad says, first of all, didn't see that one coming. And Conor Murphy surprised as well. I certainly did not see this one coming as well. AVFCUS says, I haven't seen this reported anywhere. It's caught me so much by surprise that you won't be surprised to know that I just realized I've spelled Callum wrong. He only spells it with one L, so that'll tell you how much time I've had to adapt to this. But I don't think anybody at VFC US had seen this reported, because it wasn't reported. It literally just came out of nowhere, kind of like the Danny Ings ninja style swoop that we did in the summer. But definitely a body to come in. And I will read you the synopsis that my Arsenal supporting mate has sent me as well, because it's something, as I said, I do value. The club's getting good at keeping things quiet, eh? Ings now Chambers, absolutely Blobman. I love your avatar as well, by the way. Nice and simple. Rob Henry says, won't believe it until Percy Telegraph confirms it. He's up on the on the official website. So I think unless this is an absolute takeover of the highest order from some hackers like Anonymous or something playing a massive prank, then I think we can take it as gospel that Callum Chambers is now an Aston Villa player. Ad says decent backup for centre back or right back, but he's so injury prone. That's actually something that was mentioned. I would not even go so far as to say as he was so injury prone, and that's maybe what's kind of followed him through in the last 2 or 3 years, is the fact that he's been getting over those injuries, but he's still only 27, and that's something that's been mentioned to me already. Nathan Stokes, no, I am late. I was late. Your device is absolutely working. I was late for that. It was I was about 4 or 5 minutes late. Danny Aces says, I literally flashed Villa TV 1 minute after they uploaded the interview. Proper what the fuck moment. Exactly, 100%. And John, like me, you just said ninjas in the market again. Absolutely. Fred Red says his insomnia led me here. Well, Fred, I hope I put you straight to sleep, because at least that's a service I'm proud to provide. Wayne Mullen says, poor signing, but sure, he's one of us now regardless. Well, he hasn't kicked the ball for us, so to call him like he's poor based on maybe what you've seen for Arsenal. And look, he's only going to be depth number 4 centre half anyway, and free transfer, I suppose. It was, if they weren't able to get Joe Gomez or whoever else that they were looking at, or Connor Goldston, maybe they've seen something in him to bring him in. Bring him in and see what he can do. Maybe cover 2 positions. Maybe Kane Kessler Hayden, should I say, will now go out and he will cover both spots. Get Caden Hessler some time. Who knows? But it all has to be written with him first. John Gameson, hi from the pub in Turkey. I wish I was in the pub, and I wish I was in Turkey as well, but I'm not. But thanks for joining. Thanks for popping in. Lang is doing transfers like that U2 album that just appeared into your phone. Yeah, that time that the U2 album that nobody wanted just dropped into your phone as well. Nathan Stokes, never heard of Callum Chambers. Our fans seems to have mixed views about him. Do I have any opinions about it? I do. I'm going to share up a piece here. He is what he is. He's not someone I'm going to sit here and go, oh my God, I'm delighted we signed him, because I don't think anybody's going to feel like that. But he's a functional player, and I've got an Arsenal fans side of the coin, and just going to show a statistical piece on him as well. Fill us in here. That's why we're here. Give it your best shot, says Roderick Cook. I will do that now in a moment. And once again, Terror Synthesizer says Villa have some ninja style dealings in the transfer market. How do they keep it on the QT so effectively? AFTV saying that this means they're signing Dougie. That is a talking point I was going to bring up in a moment. You've stolen my my mic drop moment. Is this something? I don't think it is, to be honest with you, now that I know he signed on a free. But look, we'll talk about it in a moment. Eddie Montenegro, exactly. He played defensive midfielder and was Fulham's player of the season in 18-19. Bad team, but exactly. And I think just this was a versatility signing for free. I think that they felt that couldn't really go wrong with signing somebody like Callum Chambers, just to be that auxiliary backup, because lest you forget, Axel Tuanzebe was utilised in a defensive midfielder role more than he was as a centre back when Steven Gerrard came into the club. So this doesn't mean we're not going to sign a defensive midfielder. So I think we will still sign a defensive midfielder. I think this is just opportunism, maybe to get somebody to come in and fill a space within our squad. He's never. Yeah, you're right, Fred. He's not going to cover Cash's position. He's not going to take Cash's position, I don't think. Not for sure. Okay. Let's just see here. There's a couple more. No charts. Well, Ronan, since you asking, you shall receive. You'll. Let me just try and bring it up here. I don't have an awful lot, obviously. I hope you forgive me for that. And I haven't been able to triple source my statistics. So once again, I hope you'll forgive me for that. I will be doing a more in-depth analysis of said individual, Mr. Callum Chambers. I will be doing a better synopsis of him, just as my mouse decides it doesn't want to work. Talk amongst yourselves. Connection is lost on my mouse. This could be disastrous. And we're back in the room. Perfect. So I'm just going to bring up something here for that I did on him. It's very, very slapdash, but it's something nonetheless. So here it is for those of you watching. Keynote. And breathe. Here we go. Perfect. So we have some statistics here on him. Just going to try and make this a small bit bigger so that you guys can see it. There we go. So basically just some career stats now. I did leave out the defensive midfielder piece here. I know you mentioned it there a moment, Eddie. Eddie, I think it's something there to do with versatility piece for him, but I think that he will be brought in potentially or more so to play as a centre half or as a right back. So career statistics based on from FBref, he's played 200 games and with 160 starts, which is actually probably more than I would have envisaged he would have played. He's had 33 yellow cards and 1 red card in his career. I don't know why I felt that was important to put in, but I just thought it jumped off the page for me. He gets a yellow card once every 2 games, essentially. But he is English, obviously. He's 6 foot. He's right-footed. He's 27. He's just gone 27 a couple of days ago. And some defensive statistics there. Take these with a pinch of salt. These defensive statistics are wrapped in with all the central defenders as well. You don't really expect to have a fullback that has massive amount of interceptions tackled, specifically, because they're more utilized going forward. And that's why I've got some of his passing statistics in here, because when he has played for Arsenal, he's played predominantly, I won't say predominantly, but he has played an awful lot as a right back, as you can see there. But interceptions come in the 42nd percentile. Tackles, doesn't tend to tackle an awful lot. But then again, fullbacks, we don't see English fullbacks to be full-blooded anymore. Dribble past is something I think that's really interesting. He doesn't tend to get dribble past. That is a typo. Oops, that is a typo there. I don't know where my slide is gone. At 61. That should be 71. His pressures are 11.16, so he doesn't pressure the ball an awful lot, but once again, pressures are more midfielder stat. Pressure success rate when he does pressure comes in at the 48th percentile, and he's pretty handy in the air, as we can see there, winning 57.7%, and you would expect that for somebody who does play centre half and right back and is also 6 foot tall. I think where Steven Gerrard has maybe seen the and Johan Lange has maybe seen the market inefficiency on him, is that the amount of passes he attempts per 90 minutes, 63.15. So he's a workhorse there. He does go through an awful lot of work when he does get his starts, and he's a bit of a ball player. So I think that's something that they've looked at. His completion rate is 81.3%. Passes under pressure comes in middle of the road at 6.31. Predominantly a low, I suppose his passes come in 50-50 between low passes and high passes there, and obviously he puts in some key passes being a right back as well. So there isn't anything massive in this, as I say. I think it's just important to kind of take a look at it and see what where his statistics bring him. To be honest with you, when you look at the statistics under the microphone or under the lens, under the microscope, should I say, or under the lens of other fullbacks that do play in the league, he comes in pretty similar to Hector Bellerin. He comes in pretty similar to somebody like Cesar Azpilicueta, based on those statistics. Now, I'm not saying he's that good. Absolutely not. I'm just saying some of the efficiency metrics that he has here with regards to his passing statistics and stuff correlate to similar attributes that those players have, albeit at a lower level. I'm not saying he's like that before anyone goes 90 to the gallon on me. Here's the piece that my Arsenal supporting mate said. He's a good player. He's probably too good to be sitting on the bench. Could be playing somewhere. Works really hard. If you need a defensive midfielder to control a game, and then question mark, do you need a defensive midfielder? He can play there too. That's where I think he should be played. Player of the year for Fulham, went on loan, doing that, and never played there for Arsenal. He won't be a superstar for anyone. He never will. He's tough but solid. He's pretty quick. The biggest thing with him is, and coaches say that he follows exact instructions. If there is a game plan, he won't ever go off script. And then they say, I'm kind of a bit pissed off we've lost it. But that's really it. So I think the biggest thing there is that they've got someone who is steady Eddie, someone who's not really going to blow your mind, but is going to do everything right and is going to follow instructions without being massively, I suppose, having superstar potential. He's 27 years of age. He's an England cap as well. Just solid is the word I think we're going to use. Just solid. Let's have a little look there and see. I'm going to bring this off the screen there, guys. Now we'll be back with a more in-depth analysis, see with more statistics and try and do some more advanced stuff. Try and compare him to some of the players that we have already at the club as well, which is always nice to see. So Batty says he will score against Arsenal with a back heel 6 minutes into injury time to win the game. Wouldn't we all love it? This is a good backup signing in my opinion. He's an upgrade on Tuanzebe and probably going to cover right back and centre back for free. It's a no-brainer. I don't know if he's an upgrade on Tuanzebe, but I agree with absolutely everything else you've said. For sure. Is this the fourth centre back sorted, or do we need another? I would imagine that this is probably the fourth centre back sorted. I would imagine it would be, and I'd imagine potentially that we might see, as I say, Ken Hessler go out on loan again, and maybe he covers both those. I wouldn't pin my colours to that mast, if that makes sense. But it's something that could happen. I think now, considering he has kind of split his time between those positions. It's plausible to think that might happen. I think is the best thing to say. Fill the Tuanzebe role pretty straightforward, yeah, and like for free. It's kind of saves money in January, and it's a 3-year contract. So, I'm sure his value, he will still have some sort of value if things don't work out for him in 18 months' time or whatever, or if there's a loan to a championship club or to a lower Premier League club, if that came about and we needed to upgrade him, so for us to get a body in a free transfer, I think that's probably that's a good point to make, and it makes this signing, it kind of elevates the kind of, I suppose, the efficiency of the signing, the monetarily efficient nature of the signing, should I say. Shark Spray says why? Well, I suppose that was it. An opportunity came up to sign a player for free who has an England cap, who is versatile and will only really ever be first choice centre half / second choice right back. So instead of spending lots of cash, they bring in somebody who, like my professional football coach, Arsenal supporting friend, says will come in and follow instructions and follow system to a T. So we're not saying this is going to win us a league, but as I say, it's something that I suppose is kind of, as the tea leaves begin to dissipate, we're beginning to see maybe why this happened so quickly. Richard says this is an insane signing. Signings galore. The Gerrard revolution is in full flow. This is a free signing for an international player. Smart business. Good. Runa Christofferson says Callum is not right for Villa. And look, I think, realistically speaking, what have we seen from him in the Premier League lately? He has been a bit part player for Arsenal, so he does have something to prove at Aston Villa. And I don't know how well he's going to play for Aston Villa, and I think that's important to point out, that we don't know how well he's going to play in an Aston Villa shirt. But for a free transfer for somebody who can play in 2 different positions, arguably 3, and will do a job if called upon, it may be shrewd more so than anything else, I think. Any idea about his wages, says Roderick? A figure just quoted on Sky says he's at 150 grand for Callum Chambers. Can anyone confirm that? I'm not saying that you're not telling the truth, Roderick, but 150 grand is... I didn't prefer to have paid a transfer fee for him than to have to pay 150 grand for him. That would be a lot. That would be a lot of money now in my book. And I just spoke about monetary efficiency. That would put a bit of egg on my face from the monetary efficiency point of view. 150 grand. Let's do the quick maths on that. 150 grand multiplied by 4 is what? 4 at 600 grand a month. Multiply that by 12 at 6.2 million. No, it's not. It's 7.2 million per year. Dusan Vlahovic is reportedly earning 7.2 million per year. Now, I'm not saying he isn't getting 150 grand, but 7.2 million a year multiplied by 3.5 years is over 21 million. It's 24.5 million. So look, not my money. I don't know what the story is, but wow, that would be a lot. That would be a lot. We'll keep an eye and see what the contract numbers come out, if they ever come out as well. And O'Neill, everyone seems to be going mad over this guy. Is he that good? Don't know. I'm going to be really honest. I don't think he's solid. I don't think he's a world beater. English international, I think it's more so the efficiency of the deal. I think it's more so the frugalness of the deal more so than anything else. But can cover 3 different positions. 2 different, certainly in 3 different, arguably, positions. So I think he just comes in and fills a versatile body as well. He's a solid defender that provides good cover at cornerback, and if Cash gets in there, he can drop into the right back role. We just need Bentancur now to complete the transfer window. This, I think, is correct. Not that all the rest of the things weren't correct. They all were in their own little way, for sure. But what I mean by this is the Bentancur piece. If Bentancur comes in here now, well, wow, we have a pretty settled squad, or pretty solid squad then, should I say. You know, I would be happy with almost all positions. Almost all positions. Like the depth at all positions will be absolutely smashing at that stage. I think I'm trying to think if there's any position that maybe wouldn't like. We've got 2 international goalkeepers. We have Target as cover for Dina. We would have a right and a left footer as cover for a right and left footer, 2 centre halves. Yes, arguably, look, House is a drop off on Mings. Chambers would be a drop off on Konza based on everything we've seen. We would have Cash and Ken Kessler Hayden potentially, or Callum Chambers fighting it out for the right back position. Midfield would have a bevy of players. So many players, with Nakamba coming back as well. Carney Chukwuemeka, 3 that started at the weekend, and Rodrigo Bentancur. We'd have our 2 10s in Buendia and Coutinho. We'd have we'd have Bertrand Traore coming back from AFCON. We'd have Leon Bailey coming back from injury. We would have then up top, we would have Ings and we would have Watkins. Like, that's a good squad in anyone's book. That is a good squad. And there's people I've left out there as well that may or may not still be here after the transfer window. So that would be a tidy squad. As I say here, could be a shrewd signing. Ash may look to Watford for more games. Decent utility player. There was something mentioned about that Roy Hodgson was looking at making Ashley Young his first signing at Watford. Roy Hodgson and Watford in the same sentence, to me, is mind-blowing. I read an article on it as well, and was it in 2001? I think Roy Hodgson was. It might have been. Yeah, I think it might have been 2001. Roy Hodgson was the manager of Udinese, and the Pozzos sacked him after like 6 months, and he basically turned around and said he didn't even want to be at the club. He didn't want to be under those owners. And then fast forward 21 years, never rehired him again. And maybe the bad blood is gone from that period of time, but it just I can't figure that out. But more power to them. More power to them indeed. Where else are we going to? This is a great one. This is a great call as well. Konza should get an immediate contract if that wage is true. He should get an immediate new contract anyway. Along with about 5 other players in the team. Like John McGinn. Give John McGinn another new contract. Give Mings another new contract. Because by tying these players up to new contracts, yes, we're signing them to new wages, but we're also future-proofing their value, and we're also future-proofing the fact of there is a piece of financial wizardry that can be done with regards to amortization of contracts. I've been threatening to do this podcast for the last two weeks now, nearly, since Coutinho signed. And I will do it. I'm actually going to do it this week because we've got no games. I might do it over the weekend. But it should be a nice, short, easy one just to explain that. But I think it's really, really interesting on how people can utilize contracts into the future when balancing the books. And I'm sure I won't have it all 100% right because finances isn't my forte. But I found it really interesting, and I am open to correction on everything as always. Where else are we? Did I say centre back? Did I say CB as cornerback at some stage? Did I? I might have, because I was watching the NFL just before. I was watching some NFL coverage just before this broke. So I might have said cornerback from that point of view, for sure. So one of these I'm going to teach you. Do I pronounce that wrong? Do I say Chukwuemeka? Do I mix up the W and the M sometimes? Sometimes. See, guys, look, as I said, this is why I always need somebody on the podcast with me. I find myself sometimes thinking I mix up the M and the W and the Chuck. Sometimes the Chuck Mweka, actually, I think I do say that Chuck Mweka. Yeah, I don't know. I will try to pronounce it. I don't meaningfully pronounce it incorrectly. I don't mean to do it, should I say? I just get tongue tied. Cool. Yeah. No, that's all good, guys. Listen, I don't know really what much more to say. Oh yes, I did want to talk about something there as well. When I initially heard the news, first thing that my mind went to was, oh no, does that mean that they're throwing in a Callum Chambers and then Douglas Luiz is going to go to Arsenal and maybe we're going to accept the bid and maybe this is Villa's way of getting out ahead of it, like we got out ahead of the Grealish signing with Danny Ings out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden Grealish then signs the day after for Manchester City. I don't think this has that same the same piece about it. I think it's probably, well, I'd be almost certain that it would be independent of the Douglas Luiz thing. I just don't see Douglas Luiz going anywhere, specifically not now, not in the January transfer window, and definitely not going anywhere unless we bring in at least one more midfielder. I wouldn't even be comfortable letting him go if we bring in one more midfielder. I think we'd have to bring in two before I'd be comfortable with letting him go. And even at that, I would let him go through, very, very reluctantly, because I think he should be played as an 8, and I think he's sacrificing himself, his numbers, and I think he's taking one for the team playing as a 6 now in this Steven Gerrard system. But time will tell. As I said, time will tell on that, and I don't want him to go at all. Ray O'Connor, good to hear it. The very last, I found an Aston for the Love of Paul McGrath hat. And Ray had ordered one, and it arrived today. Delighted to hear. We will be getting more hats soon, I think, and we might have some t-shirts or something as well if there was an appetite for them. But we will see. Keep an eye on social media for that if you do like any collecting merchandise or anything like that. We might have that as well. But that's neither here nor there. Guys, I think we're going to leave it at that. I've managed somehow to ramble on for 27 minutes on my own, which is good. Well, not on my own, because I've had 205 people here with me at times. So that's fantastic. And without you guys checking in and putting up your comments and giving me a chance to read them out and to talk about them, I wouldn't have anything to do here. So thanks so much, everybody, for listening. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Can you please hit the like button? Get the like button on YouTube. Get us, it's just a little small thing, costs you nothing to do. And it'll rocket it up through the algorithm somewhere. But Callum Chambers is now an Aston Villa player. Out of nowhere, Thursday evening, a bit of excitement. Let's see what other business Aston Villa are going to do. And at the end of the day, guys, look, if he comes in, and although we'll have to wait and see if the 150 grand a week thing is true, but if he does come in and does a solid job for us, I think that I think for a free transfer, it's it's a risk reward kind of a thing here. I think for someone like Callum Chambers, if he can rekindle his old form from like 4 or 5 years ago when he did get into the English squad, maybe something might come of this. But at the end of the day, it was only the outlay was low for a free transfer, so we can take that one to the bank and see what comes next. Anything else breaks, guys, we will be back with any other transfer news. It's going to be a good weekend. It's going to be a good weekend, even though there's going to be no football on. Let's see what other rumors come out. We will be back with a transfer deadline day show with Sir Patrick, who hasn't been here. He's been flat out working this week, so I've left him alone. But we will be back with a transfer deadline show on Monday. Thanks very much, everybody. I won't hold you. You've got other things to do this evening. Thanks a million for listening. Welcome, Callum Chambers. And all that's really left to say is up the Villa.